Deaf policeman heard the noise and came and shot the 2 dead boys. And the writer said, if you don't believe the lie is true, ask the blind man because he saw it too. Life is like an unexplainable riddle. Everything that sometimes you planned out, it seems to never work. Every time you get ahead, it seems like others are pulling you back. Every time you struggle, you want to give up, and it didn't start off to be that way, but that's what it seemed like it ends up being. Life is just a struggle. It's a vapor here today, gone tomorrow. Just the other day, somebody could witness today that I was just talking to her. I was just talking to her on the phone. I just seen her. We were just laughing. We were just talking about what we're going to do. Life is but a vapor. And the writer says that life is so tough that you got to learn how to fight. Not fight the traditional way. If you grew up in a fruit belt, you had to learn how to fight because you couldn't run, go get nothing, because in that day, running to go get anything made you a punk. So you had to use your hands, not your Uzi, your Gat, your AK, your M16, 9, whatever else they have now. You couldn't run and get that. You had to use your hands. And if you couldn't whoop them, you learned to keep your mouth shut. You learned how to fight. Fighting is what got us here. Fighting. She had to fight with the struggles of this world. Now let's tell the truth. All of us have a handicap. Something that keeps us from being our best. Could it possibly be, i.e., our mind? We've been locked down for 2 years. Some of us have violated the rules. We didn't do this and we didn't do that. That's all right. But yet and still, we've been locked down for 2 years with not being able to touch, kiss, hug. We have not been able to gather like we're so used to gathering. Don't you know that gets lonely? You have to learn how to fight. You have to learn how to fight through the adversity. You have to learn how to fight through the prohibitions, the things that keep us from doing what we're normally doing. We have to learn how to fight when we get sick. I know I can hear the children may have said, we didn't know she was sick. Because she didn't tell you certain things. She couldn't tell you certain things because she was learning how to fight herself. Life will transition on you. One day you're healthy, the next day you're down. One day you got a smile on your face, the next day you got some pain coming from somewhere. You don't know where it came. You just wish it to go away. She had to fight. She fought until the body couldn't stand the taking anymore. This shell that we live in, all of us are just living on the inside of a shell borrowed on borrowed time. This world is not our home. We all got to pass this way. We all going to die. She had a shell that said, I desire no longer to stay here. The shell has been given signs of deceasement. Signs that says it's getting late in the evening and the sun is going down. What is it? Old age. Young folk, you laugh now, but keep on breathing. Keep on not wanting to spend time with your grandparents. Keep on thinking what they're saying don't make sense. Let me help you. Drunk folks sometimes make the best sense. They tell the truth. As the body starts to wind up, it starts to do some things. Memory slips. Got your phone in your hand talking about, where's my phone? Had a friend last summer say, pull up in the parking lot and said, Frank, I've been looking for my keys all day. The keys to what? The car. Driving around. See, as you get older, it seems funny now, but those are the facts of life that starts to happen to the body. That hair that used to be black will no longer be black. You're going to just for a minute, you're going to dye it, whatever you have to. I just chose to keep it gray. Your hair fall out. And if it ain't completely fall out, it's bald spots. Young folk, keep on living, keep on living, keep on living. Your hearing gets a little dim. You're hearing people saying hi, and they mad at you because you didn't answer. The fact is you didn't hear them. Can't hear like you used to hear. Say, come on and hang out. Can't hang like you used to. Now you fall asleep at 6, maybe 7, 8 at the longest. And Lord forbid if you had something to eat, you're going to fall asleep immediately after you eat. You can't hang. They mad. They don't want you around. They don't want you to come through the party. You no longer the life of the party. Because this fight is catching up. More it catches up, the more you'll see. You look in the mirror, you notice a new wrinkle every day. You didn't put makeup on that side. Now you got to put makeup on that side. Thank God for wigs. Weaves don't help you no more because ain't nothing to hold on to. All I'm trying to tell you is you got to fight. She fought to stay alive for her children as long as she could. But the body was saying, there's a leak in the old building, and I got to move. That leak, I can't see like I used to see. I was reading this text earlier, when y'all heard me pause, I wasn't pausing because I'm good. I was pausing because I couldn't see it. And all it is telling me that, Frank, you're going to need some glasses soon. But I'm fighting. You're fighting to stay in relationships. And you're fighting to stay in a relationship when every little thing keeps you falling out. You find yourself arguing over a donut now. The Negro been coming in at 3 in the morning, now you really tripping. She been wearing clothes with nothing on. That's how you got her. You like her that way until somebody else wants it. We have no patience driving now. People cut you off. We have no patience with people walking across the street. We have no patience with the restaurant people because time is winding up. We don't know how to fight anymore. We were a culture where you could borrow sugar from next door and never hear about it again. We spent the night at each other's houses and nobody said anything about sucking their air or laying in their bed. All we knew that Saturday morning, if we happened to be there, we had chores, young folk. We had to clean up. You didn't stay in the house and talk up on the grown folk. We had to leave the house. Y'all remember the couch with the plastic on it? You couldn't sit in there. You couldn't go in the front room where grown folk were talking. We knew what type of party was which type of party if the red light or the blue light was on. We know that little children ought not be there. There was something we forgot because we no longer know how to fight. Time is winding up. We said our bodies, our relationship is causing us to have a lack of apathy or a lack of care for one another. We just don't care. And then some of us, we're so frightened now that we're scared of our own children. And you say amen if you want, or you can do what you want with it. They raise their voice, you get nervous. I wish I might have had dare. Back talk. Shh. Had aunties and uncles all in the fruit belt. If you got whooped one time, you can guarantee another one coming. Because you said something to her sister. She fought a good fight. We were next a people of faith. I don't care what we've done. I don't care what you may have did. Grandma would say, baby, I'm going to pray for you. All of us needed some prayer. We have forgotten our faith because we have forgotten the people that we once were, and we've forgotten the people that we once were because we're trying to live in a culture that we don't belong. What do you mean by that? She struggled to live in a culture where we don't belong. We're loud people. We're partying people. And they put us in a culture where they said, be quiet when they kill your children. Put in a culture, gas prices now, $4 and $5. That don't fit us. We were people who walked and marched just for the simple reason that we might be free, of simple reason that the facts that we might just have some freedom, that we can walk these streets where y'all brought us over here, that we built to get an education that you all are getting. And we don't have old books. We're trying to survive in a culture where we don't belong, and it seems as if it's making sicker and sicker. COVID was never a danger to us until they were trying to kill us. Diseases popping up out of the blue. What? Doc, grandma gave you some old remedy. You were good and back on your feet the next day. We survived the worst of tragedies. And here we are. We can't stand to live next door to each other, let alone walk down the street. I grew up, and we're getting ready to close. I grew up in a neighborhood that if I didn't see nobody out on the street, I was scared. Now, if I walk down the street and somebody on the other side, I'm checking them out because I'm worried now. Reverend, why you say all that? That's what Cynthia grew up in. Honor, respect, struggle. All of us in the midst of struggle. All of us trying to do whatever we can to get rid of the pain in our hearts and in our minds. So we drink because it makes us feel like we can get through another day when actually it's killing us. It's killing our beauty. It's killing our look. No one said you couldn't have a drink. Just don't overdo it. We're struggling. Now, give me 2 minutes with this. As Cynthia looked back over her life on that day, that tragic day, we call it tragic, but that beautiful God-given day, her thought wasn't us, but it was her children. What? What's going to happen to my babies? And a still voice from glory, because the only way she can have a service like this is if God knew her. A still voice from heaven would say, Sin, don't worry. I got them. Well, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. Sin, don't worry. I got them. Well, Lord, I don't want to leave the burden of a funeral on them. I said, Sin, don't worry. I got them. There's a curtain that's revealed in the face of her eyes. She looks, she peeks behind it. And when she peeks behind the curtain, Jerry, she starts to see some stuff y'all ain't seen yet. She sees streets paved with gold. There's an argument that is bound up in humanity, in the minds and in the hearts of every man and woman before they die. They're between two opinions. Do I stay or do I leave? And when she looked behind the veil, I think it came a little easier for her. She heard the Lord saying, don't worry, I got it. She peeks behind the curtain. She takes one more look on this side. And as she peeked on this side one more time, there's still bad news flashing in front of the TV. Russia and Ukraine, yes, still flashing on TV. Some young girl, some young boy being shot, yes, still bad news. Someone being kidnapped, yes, still somebody trying to run for president, yes, still rumors and gossips, people still trying to kill each other with their tongues. She decided, I'm getting out of here. I often wondered, I said, Lord, could she have stayed one more day? She could have chose this side. But on this side, she would have been in more pain. On this side, her body would have kept deteriorating. On this side, she would have to keep looking at friends dying, loved ones dying, missing her baby sister, missing her parents. On this side, it would have just been more tears. On this side, it would have been more gatherings like this, and the party is not going on. She got tired of this side. I love my children. I love them so much. But Lord, if you say they're going to be all right, her nose itself looking behind the veil, saying, look at these streets paved with gold. If that didn't draw her in, she saw her baby sister. Can you see it? She saw her parents telling her, come on. It's all right. They're going to be all right. Come on. And then the writer says, finally. Boy, I'm so tired of funerals. I don't know what to do. It seems like every week, every 2 weeks, every week I'm doing it, I can't, and I'm breaking down because I'm tired. So the only hope, I envision her parents waving at her, saying, come on. Saying, come on here, girl. It's all right. And then the writer says, finally, laid up for me is a crown. Y'all thought she was pretty on this side. Get a glimpse behind the veil. Get a glimpse of what the photographer sees on the other side of this here mundane shores, and looks on the other side of the glory, the other side of the river. You're going to see her with a long white robe on, with a crown on, and some angels on the other side singing, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. While I'm there, let me help you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to dot every I and cross every T. She was faithful over a few things. And the Lord gave her a reward and told her to come on up a little higher. No more drama, no more tears, no more sickness. Notice that she loved y'all to death. But the only way y'all can live is for her to be absent from the body and present with him. Now y'all got to live for yourself and take care of her seeds, her grandbabies, her family. Love on her uncles. That's the charge to you. Love on them even when they get on your nerves. Care for your sister. Care for her like no other. She shouldn't want for nothing. Y'all men. Y'all men. Y'all men. Let me say it again. Y'all men. Be afraid of nothing. This world can only hurt the body. That ain't nothing, because the body is winding up. Love on her, protect her. And as you're doing that, remember you're giving honor to your mother. I close with this. Every parent wish they could do so much more for their children, and they struggle with that even until the day they close their eyes. Know that. If she had $1 million, she would have given it to you. Every parent struggles with that. But every parent gave the very best they had in the time they had it. Some people say, well, my mama wasn't there. That was her best. She shouldn't have been there for you. She would have hurt you. My daddy was never around. Good. You came out to the better. Don't worry about people that don't want to be bothered with you. They're doing you a favor. She done the very best she could in loving you and caring for you. And the stuff you thought she didn't care about was just the way. See, us in the Fruit Belt, we had a thing where we had to be hard with some stuff just so we can get ahead. Some stuff she had to be hard on because it would break her down to know what she couldn't do. You've lost nothing this day. You've gained. You're going to miss her. You're going to miss her. But if you look around this room, that's what you gain. You got uncles, some cousins, some aunties, some people you don't want to be bothered with. But you gain. Morticians are coming. I leave you all with this. We do not say goodbye. All we're going to tell her, we see her in the morning. Because she loved the Lord long enough and loved the Lord knowingly that she could leave y'all here safe on this side only for a little while. For those, the rest of us, we don't know Jesus as our Lord and Savior, there's no greater time to get to know him than right now. You hear these sayings, the door of the church is open and all that. I'm not doing that. What I am going to say is, I want to extend an invitation for you to get to know him. So if I'm wrestling with all this hurt, and ain't nothing wrong with me, I'm just tired of seeing faces, people hurting, and I can't do nothing about it but pray. And I tell you, prayer does work. If you don't know Jesus, I just want you to stand on your feet. I don't want you to look at your neighbor. I don't want you to look at the person next to you. And don't be ashamed. If you don't know him, just stand. All I'm going to do is pray. That's one. Thank you for honesty. If you don't know him, stand. Thank you for honesty. If you don't know him, just stand. Now, I'm not going to sell you no hocus pocus. Oh, I know Jesus, everything is everything. No, it ain't. You're going to have some tears to shed. You're going to have some trouble. But I can help you with this. Weeping endures only for a night. But joy will come in the morning. Trouble don't last always. You can be in trouble with somebody than be in trouble without somebody. And I would rather for you to be in trouble with somebody. And his name is Jesus. Because you stand, all I'm going to do is pray for you. And when I pray for you, I beg thee that you do whatever it takes to get in somebody's church. Let me help you. To cut the camera off, because people are going to say I said something.